most of you.
I'm here.
How are you, Ozzy? It's lovely to see you.
Good to see you, mate. Good to see you.
Of course, the last time we saw you on the show, you had the Ultimate Sin album. No, beg your pardon. I've got it all wrong. You had the tribute album just about to come out.
Yeah.
But since then, of course, you've got a brand new guitarist. Brand new bass player as well, I should mention.
Yeah, I've got Geezer Butler playing with me now.
That's right. He was your old mate from Black Sabbath.
Yeah.
How did that come about?
I don't know, I mean, when Sabbath formed, me and Geezer used to play in a band before Sabbath formed. And I always liked his bass player. He was a great songwriter, a great performer. So he wasn't working, so I offered him the gig and he took it.
I think I was a bit surprised when I heard about it because I imagined that you'd probably get... Because you had Phil Sousson before that, who was very young and had all the, you know, the look and the hair and stuff.
A bass player is the backbone of the band, you know. It's like... to get a very good bass player is very hard to get. To get the combination of a good showman and a good bass player is very hard to get.
Right.
And I mean, it goes without saying, Geezer's been playing bass for like the best part of his life. So, and I loved his playing. Him and Bob Daisley are my two best bass players around. I've ever worked with him.
Of course, Geezer used to do a lot of the writing as well. Is he going to be doing some writing with you again?
Hopefully, yeah. We'll see how it goes. I mean, I haven't worked with him for 10 years now, so it'll be interesting to see how it works out. Whether we've still got the same thing going for us as we used to have in the old days, but we'll soon find out.
Right.
You might know, I might have a wanted new bass player.
And tell me about your, of course, this brand new guitarist you've got, Zach Wild.
As I was just saying before we went on the air, I mean, he's 21 years of age, and if someone had said to me 20 years ago, that baby in that pram was going to be your guitar player one day, I would never have believed it. But he's great. He's 21 from New Jersey. He's a great player. He's a phenomenal player. I mean, it's going to be interesting to see the reaction to what the kids think of him, but I think he's going to be in the business, you know. He's going to be great. Right.
Now, of course, you have finished your new album, which we will be talking about in a minute, but of course you haven't done a video yet because you haven't chosen a single.
No, I've been busy recording. In actual fact, I'm going to Los Angeles next week to finish mixing the album, which I hope to release in September, October. All
right, so anyway, we haven't got a video showing the brand new guitarist yet, but we have got another blonde bombshell for you. This is Lita Ford, her brand new single. This is Kiss Me Deadly. Lita Ford, Kiss Me Deadly. And I know I always say this, but it's perfectly true. If Lita Ford played her cards right, she could kiss me. She could. There's a track on Lita's album which...
we were just talking...
which you appear on, right?
Yeah, well, I got this... I was rather inebriated one night down at one of her recording sessions. I said, hey, Lita, I got this idea for a song, which I'd had an idea, not specifically for her, but I'd had an idea for, like, a ballad for a long, long while, and I was sitting around with a guitar, and next minute now, she was plaguing me to fly back out to Los Angeles to record this song, and I'd forgotten all about it. So eventually I went out there and recorded this song with her. It's turned out okay, actually. I was quite pleasantly surprised.
Is it a ballad?
It's kind of like the heavy metal version of Peters and Lee or something. It's a good song. It's doing. I mean, I just did it, and you know, never thought any more of it. Right. And in America, it's getting an awful lot of airplay.
Right, she's doing very well at the moment in America.
Oh, she's doing great. I mean, it's taken a long time for Lisa. She's worked at it for many years. Right. She's now getting a bit of recognition.
Anyway, switching the subject, back to something even more interesting. We just mentioned it earlier on. You've just finished working on your own new album, Ozzy. Is it all? It's all finished now, is it? Or?
The only thing that's not finished is I haven't got the title. I mean, I've got there's various titles flying around. I haven't really settled on a title for it yet. It was recorded by Roy Thomas Baker. I'm remixing some of the tracks next week. And it should be finished within 2 weeks. Everything's recorded. There's no more recordings or overdubs or anything.
Are you going to take the title from one of the songs, perhaps?
I don't really know. I don't think so. I mean, because it sometimes backfires on you. I always find the best track on the album is always the highest one to sing. And when I do live shows and I call the album, like for instance, The Ultimate Sin, like I found it very difficult on tour to do the title track of the album. Why don't you do the album title track, you know? But I'm just going to call it a name, but I don't think I'll ever have one of the titles of the tracks.
Right. And when can we actually expect to see it in the shops?
About September, October, I hope, or, you know. It's right in its year.
About September, October, sometime in the autumn. In the autumn?
Yeah.
All right, OK. We'll talk some more about that in a minute. In the meantime, let's have a bit of Ozzy Osbourne, shall we? This is my mate Ozzy here and A Shot in the Dark. Shot in the Dark, my old pal, Mr. Ozzy Osbourne. That's still one of my favourite videos, by the way.
Yeah, actually, it's the first time I've seen it in a long time. It wasn't a bad video, I don't think.
Yeah, but you were saying, well, actually, while we were watching, you were saying that you get a bit fed up with watching performance videos.
Yeah, I think every rock band, every heavy rock band, always does a live video. I suppose at one time it was okay, but now everybody's doing it. On the next videos I'll be shooting, I want to do something with a bit of a theme, something different, you know. Perhaps a little bit of live and something like a theme to it. You know?
And also, isn't there some plan for you to put together a documentary?
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to do. I mean, Sharon and I were talking about it. I mean, there's so much like newsreel footage, and there's so many people who love me, and there's an awful lot of people who hate me, you know. So I want to do. I'm trying to get it together to do an interesting, in-depth documentary on what people actually think of me, and it's going to be straight across the board from people that don't even know who I am or what I am, but have heard the name, to people that, you know, evangelists and all that.
I'd love to see a few evangelists in America answering that question.
Oh, yeah, that'd be great. Then, you know, put Jesus in front of you.
So, Ozzy, of course, the big news is that you're about to go out on the road, aren't you?
Well, yes, but it's unofficial again, because I'm not actually going out as Ozzy Osbourne. I'm going out under an assumed name, which I'm not going to give out at this point. It's just I'm going to do a small club tour, purely because I want to get back to having a bit of fun. And I know I've never really played on stage with this band, and I also haven't played, period, for the last 2 years, a live gig. So I want to just break in again easy, you know. I don't want to take the bull by the horns and go and do like Madison Square Gardens for the first time and think, God, this band can't play, you know. So I just want to go and have some fun, you know. Like on the very first Blizzard of Oz tour, after leaving Black Sabbath way back in 1980, we did this very thing when it's great to stay at bed and breakfast, live on the bus, you know, it gets you back down to earth. I love it.
Did you find it easier to work a small audience these days? I mean, the last time I saw you in Britain it was like 80,000 people at Donington.
To be honest with you, the smaller the hall, the harder the gig for me, because it's more personal. You're not singing it like a blob of people. You're singing it, they're looking right in your face.
You actually see them sitting there, don't
You're like looking at the watches and thinking, throwing up with you something.
Of course, the fact that you have Geezer on one side, Zakk Wylde on the other side, will you be tempted to do any old Black Sabbath stuff? I
think now Geezer's come back, I think I'm not going to do very many old Black Sabbath things, but I think I'll do a few of the ones that I haven't played for. Like, for instance, I'd like to do War Pigs again.
I saw a band doing War Pigs the other night. They did a very good version of it.
Really?
Called Faith No More. But I'll tell you about that in a minute, because we're going to have some more music. This is Ozzy Osbourne and the Ultimate Sin. The Osbourne, the Ultimate Sin. What can I say? Probably not a lot.
Yeah, I forgot all about that video, to be honest with you.
Ozzy, how long is the tour going to last this time? You go out for a mega length of time?
No, what I'm going to do, I'm going to do this short, unannounced incognito tour, which I'm sure you're going to tell people where the dates are going to be and when they are.
We might.
In England and I think some parts of Europe.
Right.
And then I'm going to go on an American tour for about 3 months. Now it's penciled in for 3 months, but if the album keeps on going, I'll go out longer, and then I'm going to go to do the Monsters of Rock thing next year. Right. And we'll be back here again, I suppose.
Do you have any, as time goes on, do you have any ambitions outside of singing now?
You know,
I always ask.
Do you know something? I was saying just to my wife Sharon the other day, I said, you know, I better start thinking about retiring sooner or later. She said, well, what are you going to do? And I said, well, I don't know. It's because I don't know how to do anything else. I mean, I've never done anything else but what I do. It's like strange when you think of retiring. You just think, oh, he's retired. You just sit there like a vegetable looking out the window and living with your scrapbooks, you know. But I think rock and roll keeps you going, you know. For me, anyway, it keeps me young. It keeps me in touch with what's going on. I don't particularly like touring for great lengths of time anymore, but that's what we do, you know. It's like. Do you think rock and rollers should retire though? Do you think there's a certain age where they should actually just knock it on the head? I once saw a guy called Jimmy Durante, who's an old music hall in Las Vegas many years ago. Snozzler, yeah. And he was 86 and he did a 3.5-hour show. And he had more energy than most guys I've seen 15, 20 years younger, you know, I don't know.
86?
86.
God, that's almost as old as Tony Iommi.
Well, not quite old.
Sorry, Toad. Sorry, Toad. Oh, anyway, Ozzy, listen, thank you very much for coming on the show.
It's always my pleasure, Mick. Anytime, Mick.
Good luck with your tour. I shall be there at some point. but we won't tell you where.
Put the dates on.
No. If you do see any dates on this next video, it's not Ozzy, OK? We're not telling you who it is, it's somebody else, all right? Anyway, while you're doing that, we'll sit back and we'll watch this. This is Ozzy Osbourne with the late Randy Rhoads. This is Crazy Train. Crazy Train!